somebody outside. They're barking. Yeah, and she's freaking out. Whatever. Fucking dogs. Anyways, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. It's another day. It is cloudy today, but it's warm. It's kind of humid and muggy. Weird, you know, it's supposed to be warmer today. It was 14 degrees. And yeah, it's another one a day. I'm going to be doing the moon readings. The moon readings are going to be coming out this weekend. The full moon is on June 11th. And if you are wanting a moon reading, get a hold of me. I got everything written out for everybody. That's always fun. I spent the day yesterday doing that. I'm being productive. I'm actually quite proud of myself on being productive. This is and this goes in with the energy. So we're going to get into the energies, but I have been being very productive. Just did my menopause thing about rage, which is like the anger, the truth, the sacred power. It is so true when you are stepping into, you know, here, okay, I'm gonna go off. I'm going off onto the road. You know when you're younger and you used to say to people, "Oh, look at that cantankerous old woman," or maybe you called her an old bee, or she's just such an old biddy. Like, hey, ever heard that saying, old biddy? Why is she so rude? And now I understand. I understand why she's so rude. I understand why she's an old biddy. It's because one, she's embracing who she is. She's not taking any more crap anymore. And that's the whole thing is that everybody wants you to put up with their crap, their bullshit, their whatever. But if you try and say anything or go against it because maybe you have never done that before, it just causes outrage and how dare you, how, like, what is your issue, what is your problem? But it's like it's no longer apologizing for needing to rest or truth or peace. I'm not volatile. I'm a volcanic wisdom. That's what I wrote today. I'm a volcanic wisdom. I like that. I'm coming up with some good ones lately. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary when you're coming up with stuff, and things are sort of coming together. So one of the things, a big thing for me today is um, stepping into my power, stepping into um, my sacredness, and really, because this is to me, it's like I really in this hurrah, just doing it. This summer isn't a summer of relaxation, sit back, just let it go. No, this summer is of activation, get going, get things moving, start promoting things, get it all written up and get it out there. That's what this summer is. The summer is for me a summer of not sitting idle. Like if you're thinking that you have to sit idle this summer, I feel you're going to be disappointed. This isn't a sitting idle kind of energy, right? This is really a energy of activation. This is a energy of movement. This is an energy of creativity. That's what it is. This isn't where many people want to, "Oh, I'm gonna go on a vacation," and I got like, not very many people are gonna be going on vacation, right? This isn't, it ain't vacation time, right? I just feel like this energy is not laid back, and it is one to step into the sacredness and bring in that sacredness. Now, I wrote something up, and of course, now I can't find the bloody thing. I just oh, part of my day. Part of my day and trying to find things. So, and go in and find what I'm looking to find. Oops, error. Okay, hang on. Let's just close things down and because what I've been doing with a lot of stuff that I've been trying to do is um rewrite, write up a script in the morning and get a script, um, and then get it and put it together. That's what I've been doing, and helping me so that I'm able to kind of stay on time and not go off on tangents. But shit happens. That's just the way it goes, baby. Now, yesterday was a crazy day. Um, Where I think a couple of newscasters, I didn't see it, but the Leo King did. And he mentioned them that they said it was a day that you'll never forget, a day in history, right? And I felt yesterday was, to be a very important day, but historically, just with the astrology, and it continues on today, I feel like it's still like, especially around relationships, whether they work or don't work. Um, Venus is now in Taurus. She's out of that full retrograde, going strong, going forward. And if there were relationships that started, especially in around April and that, or before April, but this is where when she was coming out of retrograde, seeing how they're going to be exploding more. I mean, the biggest thing, if you don't know, you may know now, is with Trump and Elon. Many are saying it's just a front. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You can't fake a black eye. Well, maybe you can, maybe it's makeup, but I don't think so. So this is where a lot of speculation is coming out. And we have the um sun in Gemini. Gemini is the media, right? So everything to do with the media. Neptune is propaganda. So things to do with propaganda. So the propaganda is hot and it's crazy and it's all over the place and it's really wanting to get your attention. So we have this propaganda coming out. And with the squares that are going over with Jupiter, this is where it's the war mic. It's the um Jupiter's at 29 degrees. It's the anaretic degree. It is the shouting, the ideas, the data, the wild possibilities. And Saturn and Neptune in the early Aries say, not so fast. You'll need to structure, integrity, spiritual death. And it's clashing. It's clashing with everything that's coming in, the artificial intelligence, human intuition, rapid communication, as I am talking like a million miles an hour, timeless truth, expansion, and discernment. So much of this is coming in. And Venus is saying, I'm home. Oh, look at I'm home. I'm entering into my beautiful palace. Venus is finishing the retrograde shadow here in her sign and wraps up her story that may have started. This is love and this is money, contracts around, things that might have happened to you in April of this year. And you nailed it. Relationships started under, often have many karmic layers. And we are seeing it unfold on the world stage. So there is this frequencies, this transmissions that are coming in that we are stepping into this. It's like almost I got like a love bomb, like a poof coming in, right? Because the moon's ending in Libra, it's going to go into Scorpio. And it's right now, it's not only has the opposition to, had the opposition to Saturn and Neptune, but it's opposing Eris and Chiron. So this is where it's wanting to bring forth whatever's been hurting, whatever you need to have healed. Let's bring it to the front. And Venus is there and saying, yeah, let's bring it home. This is where I feel like she's coming into this love den. And Tauruses love to plow. So coming into this love den of transformation and saying, you know what, let's heal this. This is kind of like this sort of love bomb that wants to come in, and everybody's dismissing it because everybody's pissed off. Everybody's mad at something or someone or something or how this is moving and we're moving this way. It's just like, okay, need to take a chill pill. There's emotional fatigue, overstimulation. It's exhausting. There's projects, especially with undefined sacral. It's coming into that undefined sacral. Now, I'm a projector in human design. And I'm designed to guide, not to do all the doing. That's not me. I am not designed to do all the doing. So for me, the exhaustion that I feel is real. The fire and air, the dominance, and I'm wired to wait for the invitation. But the world is acting like a sales pitch on fire. And so this is where I have to really listen. I can't chase the mic. I let them invite your wisdom in. That's what I got to do. This is where I can put out and I can promote so much on social media, but that's all I can do. People give me so many beautiful ideas. And I'm like, yeah, I could do it. But then I'm chasing. I'm chasing this, I'm chasing that. I'm all over the place. And that's not where my frequency is. Like even with generators, you have to wait for a response. I have to wait for the invitation, for someone to invite me to say yes. Or if I'm hosting something, for them to come in and take it. I can't force it down somebody's throat. It won't work, right? Sure, they might sign up. Sure, it might be a thing. It's just, it won't work. I have one lady that signed up. She paid for it. I can't get a hold of her. Her emails are coming back. I've texted her several times, have not responded. Because when I text, I put my name and where she met me and everything else. Like I just don't go, "Hey, hi, how are you?" I hate when people do that, especially if they haven't texted you for a while. Um, this is so I can't do anything more. I can't chase, right? I can't chase. She's got to come to me. Everything is there for her. I got everything for her. When she's ready to respond, when she's ready to come back, I'm there, right? And that's part of this frequency, that's part of this energy. And yeah, it can be frustrating. I hear you. And the emotional authority for me to ride the emotional wave if I'm unsure and I have to wait. That's where I get bitter. One thing about a projector is the bitterness because you are sitting there waiting. You're like on the sidelines, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, okay, okay. And everybody else is getting the invite. The manifestors are manifesting, they're just doing it. The generators are out there getting the responses and everything else. The reflectors, I'm glad I'm not a reflector. But a reflector, they have to wait for the moon cycles. They have to wait for that response within the moon cycle. A reflector will reflect whatever's going on, right? But then that can make them very sick as well. So if there's a manifestor in their life, they will reflect that manifesting, right? So they're very good at working with that energy, but they can also get very tired and exhausted, so they really have to watch it because they got a very sensitive system. Very few reflectors in the world, and same with projectors. There's very few of us. But this is where, when it comes to my split definition, I feel gaps, and be around the right people who complete my circuit is important. There are certain people that are in my life that do complete that circuit, right? And I'm trying, and right now because there is a gap, I am trying to recircuit my circuits, realign my circuits with others, and bring in more energies, more um and all I can see is more plugs for to go into. And for me, my environment is the mountains. So literally and metaphorically, I live in Calgary. I'm by the mountains. I lived in the Okanagan Valley. I lived in a valley that was surrounded by mountains. I felt at home. I felt connected. I need the mountains. They have to be around me in some way. Love the ocean, but I can't be too far from the mountains. Not, so to retreat, elevate, breathe fresh clarity. I love going into the mountains, going for hikes and connecting. It rejuvenates me. It rejuvenates me when I stand in the middle of the forest or I stand in amongst a circle of trees. which could be a fairy circle, maybe. And I just love the energy and the vortex of it. And speaking your truth in grounded beauty, that's huge with Venus and Taurus, right? And she's gonna my Venus opposition Venus. Oh my God. It is a harsh one because it's really in understanding your value and allowing you to step up and allow yourself to step up to it. Um, I feel today's chart, it's a breath of a new voice in trade, in tech, in diplomacy, in spiritual leadership. And this is where we're seeing old guards like Saturn and Neptune being challenged by younger chaotic voices, Gemini and Jupiter. And for spiritual business, this is where avoiding burnout, projectors pacing is sacred. For me, that is so sacred, you know, um, and stepping up my offers. So Gemini is excellent for promotion, teaching, and connecting. And that's probably why I'm doing so well with this energy because it is Gemini energy. So it's allowing me to work with this and get things done and get and promote things and put things out there. But it's also don't rush to be heard in the noise. Like it is to be loud, but I gotta wait until the crowd leans in. I gotta wait for people come in. I show up here every day. Sometimes it's just Shar and I. you know, Other times there's a few other people that are showing up. And so maybe there's like 3 people, maybe there's 4 people. It would be awesome if I could get to thousands of people. So like and share and subscribe, please. Um, I'm not very good at editing. That's the other thing because that takes a lot of, for me, I can set up things to get edited to get the editing done, but to sit there and actually do the editing, so like pre-recording and that, it's just like, okay, I need to sort of put there is an app out there that does do certain editing for you and that um so to do little clips and stuff, but of course it's a little, of course you have to subscribe to it, but it's auto cuts, not auto cuts. I can't remember. I can see it. Opus, I think it's called. And it's really cool. And I used it for a while in the beta stage, and now they're up and running, and it is um they've really come through a lot of the little snags and stuff within their app. And it is an AI system, and you just put your video in there, and it'll do like 2-minute clips and stuff like that for you. So it's really cool. Um, and there'll be times that, yeah, I'll probably go back to it for a little while and utilize it and then, you know, back and forth. But things like that for me are awesome. This is why I love AI, because AI is like my personal assistant. It helps me. I put in my ideas. I write things out. It corrects my spelling. It corrects whatever. It does things. Yes, it's not perfect, but having that as a guide for a projector is, it's just fantastic, you know. So this is where it's like looking at what aids that you do need and that you can connect with. And today, leptolite came in, and Mateus was playing with leptolite the other day. Let's, let's see what's in here. Amethyst, tiger's eye, agate. Oh, that's angelite. No leptolite in this one. Apatite. It's apatite. I know it doesn't look like apatite, but it is. Ooh, malachite. Ooh. Ooh, this is serpentine or serpentine. Ah, this is really vibrating. Yeah. Is that cool? That's such I love this green. Okay, we're getting off. Like, look at that. Boop, 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 boop. Showing it on. Okay. Is that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's jumping around. Ooh. Okay. So, reason I had to pick that up. It's not a purple stone. No, it's not purple. It's green. Green with little purple flecks in it. Serpentine. Okay. And then there's this one. This one is connected to the archangels. Anyways, I might have them wrong. But anyways, they're just they need it to come out today. So oh, the leptiolite is it's pink. It's pink. It's a dense one. Um I don't know where where it is right now, but it is another pretty stone. What is this one? This one leptiolite? This might be a big chunk of it. Just let me Google. Google. Yeah, it is sort of a purpley stone. Um, I thought it was like a mauve. Is that supposed to be mauve? It can be purpley color. Um, it could be pink. So I have this big chunky one, but that's not leptolite. I can't. It comes the mem. Sometimes because I don't work with the crystals as much anymore as what I used to. So when they come to me, in I then I put them down. So just crazy. But anyway, so leptolite. So because the leptolite is really good for the nerves, it's good for calming and inner alignment. Leptolite works really well with rose quartz, and it helps to align, especially within the heart chakra and working within the heart chakra and bringing in that vibration. Skull cap is one of the herbs that came in, and I think that comes into to relax the fire within the extinguishing your spark. So skull cap is something, but skull cap, you can't drink it during the day. You can get very tired with it. It can knock you out. Skull cap is it's a sedative type of herb, and it does bring in where, if you've hyperactivity and you have someone that's really hyper and stuff like that, giving them a little bit of skullcap tea can sort of bring in that calmness, and it helps with the calmness. And that's what skullcap tea can do. Usually you'll find skullcap not necessarily on its own. A lot of people have mixed skullcap with chamomile and lavender and rose and things like that, and doing that. You don't need a lot of skull cap because it will make you drowsy. It will put you right into a deep sleep. Skull cap can. So, so using skull cap, I'd say drink it in the evening after the day, when you've been running around like crazy and you just need a break. And um, yeah, that's what skull, because it relaxes you, right? Helps with anxiety and also helps with your belly issues. Yeah, that's why you only drink it in the evening. You don't drink skullcap in the day. Yeah. It helps some with digestion. It's not a bitter herb. I would use mugwort for digestive problems. I find skullcap is better for the nervous system. That's my thing, and anything to do with anxiety, calmness, and settling the brain down. Um, Digestion, I've never used it for digestion. Um, but it is one I guess people can, but in my study, it's just because anyways, doesn't matter. Go off on a tangent, Mary. The other thing is the Hierophant reversed, and this is to break your rules. Find your truth. Don't teach dogma, teach liberation. And that's the whole thing. Is like don't get caught up in the dogma. Don't get caught up in the craziness of I mean, it's very interesting to watch what's happening right now, right? And how what's that doing? It trades high. It's not a cheap. No, because it skullcap's never been it only can be harvested at a certain time of year, and that's it. And that's the only time it can be harvested. And it is a herb um that once it's harvested and dried, you have to wait a whole year, and once it's gone, it's gone. That's why it's high end. A lot of other herbs like chamomile and stuff is a renewable, like it blossoms and blooms, you can cut it and more comes back kind of thing. So that's the other thing. Same with mullein. Mullein only has a 5-year growth spirit, so it's not it's one of those herbs that you just be careful when you're picking it, but when it's at its tallest and all of the blooms, that means it's at its um last hurrah, and that's when you can harvest the whole thing. So it's important to know like the cycles of your herbs and the different cycles. Same with picking sage, when to pick sage and things like that. There's different seasons in picking sage if you're going out harvesting, and then where you're harvesting your herbs. So that is the other thing, is where you're harvesting the herbs themselves. So that's why, and I think because skullcap people will mix it as I don't usually mix herbs too often. I like them straight up, baby. Just give it to me straight up, kind of thing. So today I'm going to be doing some recording. Um, just finishing off the last week for my July booklet. It's very colorful. I'm sorry. I know people like to print out the books and stuff. I get I just love to put them together. If you don't want to print out all that color, just print them out in black and white. I mean, if when you come into the group, if you want to have them, have that tangible um part to it. So you can just print them out that way. And what else? Yeah, I think that's about it for today. If you're wanting a moon reading, get a hold of me, and I will get your moon reading going. It'll come out this weekend for you. They're $50. They are recorded and they come to your inbox. And if you know somebody who'd like to get a moon reading, let them know. Spread the word. I've also found the generic of printing ink, so that's good. I broke my printer. Don't ask me. Don't. I just bought a freaking someone bought me a beautiful new printer, and yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna fiddle around with it. Um, I think it has to do where the top part for photocopying and stuff was up, and um, it got bounced on the shelf. Somehow the shelf got, I don't know, but it was slammed down. The thing didn't crack or anything. It just, yeah, electronics and me are just so much fun. So much fun. But anyways, that's fine. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll figure it out. So anyways, have a blessed day, everybody. And if you want to book in, you guys all know the information, right? Call the company. There should be a warranty. Uh, that means I have to find all the receipts and everything. Probably won't do that. Probably won't. So, y'all have a fabulous, fabulous day. And we'll talk to you guys all soon. Bye bye.